All right. Woohoo! Look at that. Welcome, everyone. Justine, are you still here? Or did you just hand it all off to me? I'm thinking you might have just handed it all off. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to adjust my camera a little bit. Okay. Oh, gosh. Hi, Misty. So she's already got a question for me. Tell me about the cardstock organization that was behind you in my presentation. So over there, it looks like. Okay. So I am a huge paper crafter and scrapbooker. So getting my paper organized was kind of a thing for me. And what I finally figured out for me the best, I call it a Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear organization system for my paper. So I have different size folders that I put my paper in, and I have actually several videos on my system of organizing my cardstock and paper, but I have large folders that hold all of my big kind of multicolor pieces. And then I also have small folders that I label individually. And I found a really great, what I call baby bear sleeve. It's so Papa Bear is I don't have them next to me, but it's a big, uh, folder with a large gusset, so you can get a lot of paper in there. And then Mama Bear is actually a smaller folder with a small gusset, and then Baby Bear doesn't have a gusset. So, like for a lot of these colored cardstocks, I like that really thin folder that doesn't have a gusset because I always say we got to tame the bulge, right? We got to work on taming our bulge, especially when it comes to paper organization. So hopefully that will answer your question. I know I could talk for a long time on paper, and I know a lot of people have different ideas on how to organize your paper, but hopefully that helped. Okay, so let's see. Any other questions? Unfortunately, let me see. I was trying to join in with my computer, and um, it wasn't quite working. So sorry, guys. I'm gonna I'm gonna just take you around a little bit there, and but I do want to see if there's other questions in the chat. So I'm gonna go ahead and open my computer. Okay. Oh, here's more questions. Okay, thank you. Justine's probably feeding them to me now. Okay. How do I sharpen your punches that have gone a little dull? Someone recommended foil, but that just makes it feel like I'm grinding my teeth. I know it's horrible, isn't it? So a suggestion that I have heard is actually you've heard of 3-in-1 probably, like it's been oil that's been around forever, but there's actually 3-in-1 dry lube, and it comes in the same little container as 3-in-1, but it's like a dry. It's not oily at all. And some folks have told me that that works really, really well. So I might try that out. 3-in-1 dry lube. I believe you can get it on Amazon or at a hardware store, but that does. And I have tried foil as well. Sometimes I also just realize that you need to work those punches a while. So, and Lynn, yes, hi Lynn, welcome. Yes, oh my gosh, that's a name I haven't seen in a long time. I am still doing my pop series, which is Progress on Projects, and I love it. Lynn, you helped me kick that off years ago, but it is still live and going. So thanks for asking. It's where we get together. I actually host a workshop every month where we spend 4 hours together on Zoom, scrapbooking together and talking about how to organize your photos, how to get all of those things, in your scrapbook. So still love it. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so many are joining that haven't watched my presentation. So I give a quick summary about what my presentation is for paper crafters. Okay, so glad you asked because sorry for that. Like I'm just not ready here, but I'm getting there, friends. So glad you asked because I have my paper punch inventory binder right here. So this is the binder that I went through in my presentation on how to organize your punch stash. And one of the things that, I realized quickly, you can see some of my punch organization in the background over there. And I have some under here and I have some in drawers. But what I realized was that because punches are, all different sizes and shapes, and you've got little ones, you've got giant ones, that they couldn't all stay in the same place. And so one of the things that I felt was the best way to keep track of what I had was kind of what I call my inventory binder, which is this binder where I can keep track, and I do break it out into manufacturers. So if you have EK Success, if you have Stampin' Up, if you have Creative Memories, whatever kind of punches, and then you just give a quick punch to that, and they're all by category. You can kind of see there. And then I had a little index sheet in the front, and you can see these categories that I came up with. I always love categorizing in, kind of the way my brain works. And I think probably you've heard a lot of that this weekend, where you should organize the way you think about how to get to your stuff. And one of the ways I do is by seasons. So spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I always put the holidays within those seasons. So that was one of the first categories I wanted to put in here, was spring, summer, fall, and winter. And then I put in, let me see if I can get it in the camera there. The other categories of punches that I just seemed to have a lot of in my inventory, like general shapes and my borders. And I have a lot of border cartridges, especially from Creative Memories. And then I had a lot of hearts. I guess I'm a love girl, so I love those hearts. So whatever, kind of looking at your stash, it's kind of the Marie Kondo idea. Let's get all your punches in front of you, put them all out, and just go, okay, how would I group these together? And then kind of work on a system and categories that would help you organize those. But this is a quick reference. That's what I like to call it. Quick reference. Okay, what do I have with me? And instead of looking through all the drawers and all the different, sorry, my hair's like in the way, all the different holders and things, that can be a quick reference. Okay. Yes, and they are baseball card sleeves. Good eye, Judy. They are baseball card sleeves that I cut little squares of paper. And so I just keep those in this little box ready to go. And then I can actually just show you. So I think I have one in here, punch. So here's a sample. Which way is that way? Is a little easier for you to see. So once I have these little cards, I cut a whole stash of them at once so that you're just ready to go. And then you can, when you get a new punch, like say, actually, this is a new one. This is a new punch I just got. So then I'm going to take that little card. This is a border punch, and I just drop it right in here, just like that. So I'll show you the back side. And then I just give it a punch. So I don't, take a whole lot of time, but that's it. And then I have a new slot. I stick this right in my book, and I like to use my either like a white jelly roll or a white Posca paint pen. And then just because these are darker colors, or you could use black if you're going to do this on white. I like the darker. And then I slip in copy paper in between the sleeves so that I can use the front and the back of the baseball card sleeves. So they're double-sided. So then this one would go into, let me just pull out this page so you can see it. So see how I have these, and like some of them, this one right here, I wrote the name already. So then now this one can go right in my sleeve, and I have the copy paper already slipped in there. So now I have a new reference of my brand new punch that I just got. Okay. Yeah. Hi. What do I cover in Pop? Hi, Janine. Um, so I have actually, Pop is kind of um, that question when I came back to scrapbooking. I took a long hiatus from scrapbooking because I was raising my family. And then I also felt like I just became overwhelmed. The digital revolution happened and my photos just exploded. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, how I wanted to scrapbook. And so with Pop, that was my solution to answering a question, which was, if I had to start over, what would I do differently? If I could just start with a blank slate, how would I scrapbook? And so my progress on projects, I'm going to try to get up here a little bit better. My progress on projects system really is looking at your stash, looking at how you scrapbook and kind of thinking about the big picture. Big picture. I quickly realized if I was continuing the way I was going with my scrapbooking, I would have albums everywhere. Like my whole living room would be full of albums. So I had to kind of think about what were the most important projects that I wanted to do. And then also take a different look at the photographs that I had. And I love Stacy Julian's system of Library of Memories. So do we have any Stacy Julian fans? Library of Memories. And where you actually curate your photos. You don't necessarily scrapbook chronologically. Like that was an aha moment for me. You don't have to scrapbook chronologically. You can scrapbook the way you want to scrapbook. And that was a big relief and aha for me. So I, kind of built a system around that. And I have a 10 video series where I explain that Pop system. So that's free to watch on YouTube. I also have a Pop Facebook group where we talk about things like that. You can ask for help. And then I do have a membership, which is the 4-hour Zoom every month. So hopefully that answered your questions. I know I could talk all day about Pop too. So, yep. Hopefully that, let's see, I don't know. I was trying to find the chat as well, see if I have any other questions. So do I laminate my color swatches? Oh, that's a good question. I love laminating, because when I have my color swatches, I'll show you. I have my ring. Oh, excuse me, guys. I have my ring right up here. So what I have done is over the years collected a lot of different cardstock. And I don't find the need to laminate because it's really just a reference for me. So what this is my let me see, actually have another one if I don't knock everything off my pegboard. But this one is kind of current cardstock, like what is available right now, like if I wanted to run out and get some more. And this is kind of my reference because as we know, colors kind of come and go. So I don't need to laminate these because it's just kind of a reference, but I do like them all the same size. So I use a little tag punch that I have so that I can put them all on a ring. And again, let me get a darker color so you can see. I love using the paint pen and writing the name. I know some of you probably would do that with a label maker, right? Do we have label maker fans? Oh gosh. Okay, no dumb questions here, Harmony Rose. I love that. So punches, as I mentioned, I do a lot of scrapbooking, and I know there's a lot of card makers as well, but that's what punches to me are for, is that you can create that design, and this is what like we call a border punch. So you can punch it, usually punch this 5 times and you can get a 12-inch border. And I like using those on my pages to decorate make layers, just add enhancements. So they're there for a lot of things. You can put them on cards though, like little standalone punches, like this cute little leaf. You could add that with dies. I know some of us love, die cuts and different things like that. And so I just love that layering. And I kind of have a thing for punches. I love the, like, oh, gotta punch it. All right. Sue says she hasn't used punches before, but it looks fun. And what brands and kinds of punches do I recommend for a beginner? Okay. Ooh, good question. So one of my favorite brands, if you know me, you kind of know I'm all in with Creative Memories. They have beautiful, this is a Creative Memories punch. So you could take a look at the link for Creative Memories. They have a whole section on punches, but I'd have to also say my second favorite is either EK Success or Stamping Up. I believe they both use the very same, the same platform for manufacturing their stamps. So let me see if I can grab. This is that type of stamp. It's thinner. And so, this is another, it has that little design on the front. So my biggest tip as a beginner punch collector, should we say, is that think about, punches, like we just got a new punch that's it has ladybugs on it, right? I'm going to grab that. So there's a new punch with ladybugs. Well, this is a punch, and because I love punches, I have to have ladybugs punch. But maybe if I were to choose between a ladybug and kind of a leaf pattern and think about the projects that I would do, I would always say start off with a more general punch, something that you could use over and over again, even if it's just, sometimes one of my favorite ones is, it's right here, is just a shape. So whatever manufacturer you're looking at, I would say kind of go for that. What you would find most useful for the type of crafting that you do. Okay. And do I de-stash often? That's a good question. In fact, I just did a live. I have a series called Tidy Up Tuesdays that I do live on Tuesdays. And I just did one on purging, right? Because sometimes we got to do that. And I think that is like an ongoing thing for me, at least, which is how do I just make sure that what I keep here are the things that I use the most. So definitely, I do. I like the word destashing better than purging. But I think the most important thing to remember kind of as a crafter, I'm going to stop this from keeping dinging. Sorry guys, again. As a crafter is that what you keep really should be part of what brings you joy, right? Of course. And also, if you have a smaller space, that's the thing that can happen. We can get over cluttered and then our brain becomes confused and we don't have, any energy or motivation to do the things that we love because we're kind of overstimulated with clutter. And that to me is one reasons why I love to organize, because if I'm sitting down to do something, I want to have it at my fingertips. Like one of my favorite craft room, I was going to ask this question, but we jumped right in. What is your favorite craft room organizer? And I asked this question, I think about 4 or 5 months ago on my social platforms. And I said, I'm going to tell you what my favorite one is. And it's a cart. So I don't know if you can see my cart right there. That is my favorite favorite organizer because it has wheels. I have my most used things right there. So I can move this around my craft room. Um, this is my streaming station. This is kind of where I broadcast, but I actually scrapbook over there closer to my paper. So I can take this cart and move it around. And we had this whole discussion actually in my pop group about carts and what do you put on your cart and how do you have your cart organized? And everybody was taking pictures, and it was so amazing to see everyone's ideas. And so not only de-stash slash purge, but also think about what what you really want to have right at your fingertips. So this is my favorite, one of my favorite tools. I'm going to see if I can push that out there. It's from I think this card is from Michael's, but they have them all over. IKEA has them, Michael's has them, Walmart has them. But the thing I do like are the little attachment cups that you can get at Michael's. So, um, okay, we've got the tag punch. So this one, I kind of just grabbed that. I probably shouldn't have. This is actually a Stampin' Up! Punch, and it's called Circle Tab. And it's really hard to find. So I probably should have grabbed a different tag. Let's see, is there, here we go. This is a beautiful tag too. This is a great punch from Stampin' Up! But this one, yeah, it's called Circle Tab. And unfortunately, it is retired and kind of hard to find. That's what we always find with some of the good stuff, right? Is it retires, and then we go, oh, but I really like that. Okay, the big machine over my left shoulder. So I'm wondering, oh, okay, right? Let me see if I can point to it. That one, that is my Silhouette. So I do love my electronic cutters. I love die cutting. I love all the things. I love punching. I love die cutting. What can we do to paper, right? I love punching. I love die cutting. And I also love my electronic cutters. So I actually have the Silhouette big one, the Pro. And then right there is my Cricut. So I have both. And I haven't, jury's still out. Like since I do a lot of 12 by 12 scrapbooking, I thought I wanted to try the Silhouette because it has the large format, and I can do a 12-inch border on that. So, yeah. What do I do when they get dull? Okay, so we were just talking about that a little earlier. One of the things you can try is foil. You can put foil in your punches. But there was also a recommendation, because we've been talking about this, to use the 3-in-1 dry. Make sure it's the dry loop. 3-in-1 dry loop. And that can also help get those punches working well. What's in my cart? See, I thought those carts would get you going, right? Okay, so my cart, like I said, I do a lot of scrapping. And so I want all the things that I need to reach for all the time on my cart. So I have a little cup with my adhesives in here. So I have 2 of these cups along the side. And then I'm a command and hook aficionado, I guess. And so if I can put a hook on it or a command strip and Velcro, I will. And so I have these hanging on the side of my cart. So I have adhesive. I have my scissors, my favorite scissors. I have my glue pen. I mean, you name it, I've got it on here. I have my little powder tool. I have my X-Acto knife. I have, let's see what else. I showed you the glue, the multi-purpose tool. I love all my tools. So all my little bitty tools I have in these cups on the side. I can't take those off quite easily. And then all these on the top right here are 5x7 iris cases. And Creative Memories also has these cases, which I love. So I have a whole row. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 of these. 12 will fit across my cart. And then on the side, I have all my other little things. And this is a 3-story cart. So I have like this is one that says white layering shapes because I love my die cut shapes that I put in here. I have one that I have my dot grid in because that's what I like to journal on. I have another one with one of my favorite things, which is peekaboo pockets, which I reach for all the time. So you can just kind of see what would, let me see, I have tags in one. This one has tags. So what do I want to have accessible? That's my biggest question with what I put on the cart. And then the second row is where I have a lot of my pens, and I do store them horizontally. And these cases work really well because once they're in the cart, they're horizontal. So the cart that I have, I have 2 in my craft room. This is the smaller one from Michael's. It's the 3 tier. This is the 3-tier cart. They also have a 4-tier cart. And the 3-tier I like because my craft room, this island that I have behind me is actually kind of more at counter height. And the 3-tier cart will roll right under it. So if you're interested in how I built my island, I do have a video on that too. I know we could be here all day talking about it, but that was kind of an aha moment. So this is all built. A lot of my craft room is built with Michael's cubes that are now called the Simply Tidy. And then I do have some older Michael's cubes, which are the Recollections, but all these back on the back wall and my island are all built with the new Simply Tidy cubes. Okay. Okay. Time to wrap up. Thank you, Justine. I know time flies when you're having fun. Thank you so much for joining us today. Any other last questions, or is that it? We are good. Um, yeah, be sure to, if you have other questions, I will check into the Facebook group and try to answer those for you. So thank you. All right.